The port opening, which came ahead of the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum and Xi's final meeting with the President of United States Joe Biden, underscores China's growing clout in a region that once looked primarily to the United States for economic opportunity. Xi Jinping wrote in an editorial published in the El Peruano newspaper right ahead of his arrival for inaugurating the port. The level of Chinese interest and involvement in Chancay has drawn warnings from United States about Peru potentially being used by the Chinese military ships as a foothold in the Americas. General Laura J. Richardson, the recently retired former head of US Southern Command, said in a recent interview with the Financial Times that Chancay absolutely could host Chinese Navy warships following a playbook that we have seen play out in other places. Beijing has denied the project is motivated by anything other than the commercial interests. Reinberg, director of the Americas program at Center of Strategic and International Studies, a think tank, said that, quote, the Chinese are not necessarily interested in a grand display and stationing a warship there, but they like to know it's an option. Even without potential military use, the port highlights the continent's increasingly strong ties with China. Chinese interests in Latin America are fast evolving beyond mining and other extractive industries to include agreements to provide surveillance technology and ground stations for Chinese satellites. But the American concerns about the port being used by Chinese military haven't resonated in Peru, which has welcomed the prospect of high-tech hub attracting investments in the region, said Leolino Dorado, a researcher affiliated with Center for China and Asia Pacific Studies at Lima. Latin America and Global South in general wants to sell their products to whoever they can. So this sort of fear-mongering is unlikely to work, unquote. The Chinese researchers have said route will cut costs and shorten sales time by 10 to 20 days, attracting business from other hubs in the region.